The focus today is on literature review. Literature review. How do we search literature? How do we read literature? And how do we write the literature? Now, what are the goals of literature review? The first and most important point is it is to generate and refine your research ideas. Well before you have finalized your model, you are obviously conducting literature searches. And during those literature searches, you come across different ideas, different limitations in existing research, different gaps in existing research. And from there on, you propose your own research. So what the literature does here is it gives you ideas and actually refines your ideas as to what aspects of research you should look into, what concepts you should study, what concepts have not been studied in greater detail in existing research. All this becomes possible because of literature review. So literature review is not just, or it does not start after you have finished your model, or if you have developed your model. It actually starts the moment you start searching the internet for ideas for your research. That's all part of the literature. For instance, you are searching Emerald or Sage or Springer for research papers. And once you come across different research papers, you look into those papers and identify gaps and limitations from those research papers. Based on those gaps and limitations, you propose your own model. Now, once you get to that particular model, to achieve the objective of model building, you actually did conduct a significant amount of literature review. And that will become part of your introduction, your literature, your discussion, your theoretical contribution when you are actually writing your own thesis or your paper. Now, what it does is it helps you demonstrate your familiarity with the body of knowledge. So you get to know the concepts, you get to know what is available, you get to know what are the limitations, you get to know what theories have been used, you get to know what contributions have people made, you get to know how to write literature. So you get to know a lot of different things that you might not be familiar with when conducting a literature review. It shows the development of previous research as to what has been done, and then you can position your own research. For instance, I found a research on CSR and organizational performance that stated that there is a positive relationship between variables. I found another relationship that found that CSR negatively relates with organizational performance. This gave me a thought that there is still inconclusive evidence as to how CSR relates to organizational performance. Now, I position my research on this context, on this premise, on this argument that there is need for further research into the relationship. So while you are conducting your literature review, you have to look what has been done in previous research and you have to be critical. In order to be critical, you can't just keep reading and putting those things into your mind without taking notes or storing information. So it's always a good idea to have an Excel sheet ready and put all your comments, all your ideas as to what variables were studied, what were the contributions of existing research, what were the limitations that were identified, what were the results of the studies into a single Excel sheet that you can later use for your own literature review, discussion, or any part of the thesis as well. It helps integrate, summarize what is known in a given area. Unless or until you go for your literature review, you won't be able to create a concise summary as to what is available. What are the agreements or disagreements in the literature? What key questions have been answered and what key questions have been asked from future researchers? So, literature review will help you get yourself a proper direction. What are different types of literature? There is a popular literature, there is scholarly literature. Popular literature addressed to general audience, whereas scholarly literature is addressed to specialized audience, usually primary source of information, and it's almost always secondary source of information in the popular literature. For instance, the newspapers we read, Financial Times, Guardian, Wall Street Journal, Economist, Times. And scholarly literature is published in the journals. For example, a Journal of Economic Literature, Journal of Econometrics, Corporate Social Responsibility and Environmental Management, Social Indicators Research, Leadership and Organizational Development Journal, or any other journal. Now, how do you search effectively? There is a detailed video available on the channel, actually 3 or 4. They'll be in the description as well, but we'll briefly discuss here as well. So how do you search effectively? First, start browsing, but do not limit your browsing to one single database. And do not browse unnecessary websites. Do not go for general literature. Go for scholarly literature that is published in peer-reviewed databases. Again, databases like Emerald, Sage, Springer, ScienceDirect, JSTOR, and Wiley, Taylor and Francis. Keyword searching. Whenever you are interested in a topic, identify the keywords relevant to the topic. And that keywords also include the synonyms that might be used for a particular topic. For instance, for corporate social responsibility, we also use the terms business social responsibility, sustainability or corporate sustainability, or just social responsibility as well. So whenever you are searching, you need to find out, are there any synonyms to the particular concept? So these are the online databases that you should search. These websites allow the users to search using Boolean operators or wildcard characters. For example, and, or the wildcard characters like asterisk. You can use them with Mendeley as well. I will be looking at different databases in a minute. So your basic search strategy. What is your basic search strategy? You begin by stating your research topic or question. So what is your research topic or question? This actually will guide the information that you filter. If something is not relevant to your research topic or question, you'll obviously negate that particular paper. Identify the important concepts relevant to your topic. What important concepts are relevant to your topic? You will get to filter out the important concepts as you go along and keep reading about the main topic. Brainstorm to create list of words. Look at the keywords that existing research papers have used. Look if they have mentioned that there are any synonyms to these keywords. Choose a subject approach, that is, determine which discipline or disciplines are likely to have literature on your topic. So you have to identify that, okay, this particular topic is relevant to this discipline and will be available in this particular database or this particular journal. For example, social responsibility is linked to marketing related literature or marketing. So you'll find social responsibility in marketing journals. Labor or other similar topics may be related to economics. So you will find these topics in detail in economic related journals. Use Boolean operators and wildcards because they will improve the results. Do search through appropriate databases. Do not just go here and there and search any databases that you find. Because if you read bad, your output will also be bad. And once you are searching for in a particular database, if they've got any search instructions, do follow those instructions. If they've got a particular search expression or their particular grammar for their search, do follow that. Every database, if they've got any, they will obviously be listed on their website. View the results, modify the search if required, and try the same search with another database. For example, you have searched Emerald, now search Springer. Then search Taylor and Francis. Now, how do you read critically? This is particularly important. Your reading should be very critical. It should not be just reading. So what do we mean by critical reading? You need to have a conversation with the paper. You need to read in depth. You need to identify why a particular concept is mentioned in the introduction, or why a particular phrase is mentioned in the introduction. The phrases that we normally come across in the introduction of the paper are more or less related to the limitations, contributions of existing research, or limitations of existing research and contribution of your research, the theory that might be used, why this research is important. The whole aspect of why is more or less found in the introduction. This will help you identify why a particular research should be done, or how you would write this why aspect in your own research paper. So read with intent and take notes how other people's have, or how other researchers have written. What arguments is the paper making? Why are they important? Do you agree? Why or not? Why not? You will build onto your own justification. You will build these arguments. You might agree with a particular statement, you might disagree with a particular statement, but this will happen only when you start reading. And once you are through maybe 10 or 15 papers, you will be asking, well, this statement is contradicting, or this statement is contradicting the other statement made by another author. So what are the critical distinctions? How do you determine that you have read critically? Who is speaking versus the ideas they express? So you will have to look into who is, obviously, to whom the paper relates, who wrote the paper, where was it published, what ideas did they express. You have to look whether this is a particular fact, or this requires a certain amount of interpretation. Interpretations may differ from people to people, person to person. I might have a different interpretation of corporations following social responsibility, while another person might have different interpretations. But these interpretations would change, and if these interpretation, or if certain thing is mentioned in the form of facts, obviously then the interpretation of different people will be same. Are there any contradictions in existing research paper? For example, I read one paper in which there was a positive impact of a leadership style, while the same leadership style was found to have a negative impact in the other paper. So I'll have to look what settings was this particular leadership style studied in, and why could there be any contradictions, and how I can use these contradictions to formulate my own research questions, how ideas relate with each other. You have to find out how different ideas, how different concepts are related with each other. Not just how they are related with each other, why are they related with each other? Because this why is your theoretical contribution in the end. Do they complement each other? They might contradict each other, but they might also complement each other. One argument may lead to another argument. How do you get through a journal article? It is very easy to get discouraged by technical jargon, mathematics, and or econometrics in an academic paper, or analysis, because we all have this fear of statistics, numbers. So we might be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. You can usually understand the key points of the paper even without any background. So even if you do not have special background particular to that topic, but you might be interested in a particular topic, or you want to read about a particular topic, you can still understand the research paper. What are the helpful tips? Write down the unfamiliar terminologies and look it up. For example, if you do not understand a particular concept, write down and look for definition. Go to Google and write what is sustainability, for example, if you are reading a paper on sustainability. Read the introduction and conclusions first, so you know, or you have a general idea as to why this research was important and what were the outcomes of this research. Obviously, always take note. Now, trust the peer review process. The math is usually right. Now, sometimes this might not be applicable to all, but sometimes we do think that, okay, this math or this statistical analysis has got certain flaws. But what we need to do is we need to trust the peer review process, and if the paper is published in a good journal, then obviously the statistical analysis will be right. It is very important that do not get discouraged, and you should keep reading. Eventually you will get to know the ideas. Eventually everything will become clear. Eventually the author will explain every single point. Write an abstract in your own word. If you want to develop your understanding, if you want to develop your ability to write, once you have read the paper, write an abstract in your own word, a general summary of the paper. How do you identify the author's argument? The following are questions you should ask yourself whilst reading a journal article. What questions is the author asking? What research questions are posed by the researcher? And do the researcher propose any answers to them? Obviously, once the research questions are asked, hypotheses will be proposed in quantitative research. In order to support those hypotheses, the author will or would have explained a particular direction of relationship. More or less in every business research, there is a certain amount of direction to the hypothesis. Those questions or those hypotheses or the literature pertinent to those hypotheses will give you an idea as to what could be the possible answer to these questions. You have to identify, and this will primarily be in the introduction section. It is very important that you read the introduction section again and again of a paper if this paper is particularly relevant to your study. So you would identify how would you write your own introduction. This will help you identify in what ways the study improve upon previous research. What were the limitations of previous research? How the gaps were identified, how the gaps were proposed, and what are the contributions of this research? How does the proposed answer compare with that provided by the previous research? So once you are proposing, you actually draft a comparison as to what was previously done and what this research actually proposes to do. What theories will be used or are used in existing research to explain the relationships? What empirical evidence are you looking for? How you are going to search for answers for your research questions? Do you have any assumptions while you are obviously reading a paper, or did the author had any assumption? This will help you identify if you have any assumptions while making your reasoning. Evaluate the author argument. How do you evaluate it? Does the argument fit a particular theoretical lens? The data used is adequate. The methodology used is adequate. Did the author check all the assumptions pertinent to the data? The analysis, is it clearly explained? Does it make sense? Does the conclusion are in light of the research objectives? Overall, how is the paper presented? Does the paper make sense? Obviously, if you go for good journals, you will find all these things in the paper. Now, how do you go about writing literature review? Before going into the detail as to how to write a literature review, since now we know how to read it, how to take notes, what to note, as soon as you start reading, once you are through 5-6 papers and you have written the summaries, the abstract, structure your literature review. For instance, if you've got one IV, one DV, one mediator, so your literature review should start by, for instance, the individual conceptualization of the IV as to what the IV is, what are the definitions of this particular variable. For example, I'm interested in studying 3 variables: servant leadership, career satisfaction, and life satisfaction. So the structure of my literature review should be like this. It should start with servant leadership, and in this you should write what, how, why. What is this? What is this? How it affects the organization or the individuals, for instance. Since it's a more or less higher order construct, servant leadership is about leader. So leaders more or less affect the whole organization. So how it affects organizations. Why is it important for the organizations? So your servant leadership, or when you are writing about servant leadership, you should focus on answering these three questions. Same when you are writing about career satisfaction. Same when you are writing about life satisfaction. So you can mention how it affects, how life satisfaction affects both the organizations and the individual. Same is the case for career satisfaction. Same is the case for servant leadership. The next step is servant leadership and life satisfaction. Now you are expressing the relationship between variables, and here you should explain any previous research on the relationship, any theories that have been used or could be used to explain the relationship. Now, how do you find these theories? Once you have downloaded the papers, you put them in Mendeley and you search, just simply write the word theory, and you will come across the papers that have used a particular theory to explain the relationship of a particular variable. Read those theories and identify whether you can use that particular theory to explain these relationships. Now it all comes down to reading. Read as much as you can. Now if there are any previous researches, do they report any contradictions? What theories could be used or are used to explain the relationship? Why is this relationship important? So this is how you write about relationships. Next, servant leadership and career satisfaction. Same goes for this relationship. Same, you have to write about these things in this particular relationship as well. And finally, career satisfaction and life satisfaction. But there is one other relationship that you might be interested in studying. Mediating role of career satisfaction. How do you write about mediating role? You build an argument saying IB influences MB and MB leads to DB. So this is how you build onto your literature on mediating variable. Or in total, this is how you build onto your or write about your literature. First, you discuss the variables individually, and while you are discussing the variables individually, you write about these things. Obviously, this list is not exhausted. As you start reading, you will get to know there could be other things that you could have mentioned or you could mention. And then finally, the mediating role. So this is how you can structure a research literature if it's a simple research with one independent, one dependent, and one mediating variable. Now, remember that literature reviews are organized around ideas, not the sources. So you have to correlate, structure, and format your ideas. You have to create a flow between your ideas. And for instance, what we have done in this case is the ideas flow, or the structure is the first to identify or understand the concept of variables. And once you understand the concepts, then you are in a better position to identify how these concepts are interrelated with each other. Identify shared themes, ideas, or issues that the literature sources. Now again, the whole point of putting these sections, subsections, is to bring together the ideas. So when you are discussing servant leadership and life satisfaction, you are only discussing servant leadership and life satisfaction. And you are discussing how these two concepts actually relate with each other. Is there an idea that seems to be missing? Do you think that there might be a certain idea, there might be a certain philosophy, or there might be a certain concept that might be missing? Or for instance, a certain relationship might be missing between the variables. Obviously, this will come when you are reading. So you get to, or you will, and this will help you develop your explicit gaps in research. Do you like the theoretical approach in the literature? The theories that have been used in existing literature, but your liking or disliking will only begin once you have read enough on the theoretical approaches. Once you have read enough on what theories are available in the literature. Unless or until you read enough or you haven't read enough, you won't be able to build a particular concept or a particular notion as to which theory can be utilized and which theory can't be utilized. What are the trends in literature or the debates or developments? This will obviously help you position your own research as well. For example, do not write literature or do not conduct research on anything on which there is very little readership or there is very little debate. Develop an overall thesis statement that includes your perspective on material that you have reviewed. So develop an overall idea or overall statement, a concise, comprehensive statement as to what you have read. How do you think you are going to take it forward? Obviously, this does not mean that the literature, once you are writing or once you have started writing it, you cannot change your ideas. That's the reason I've been saying this all along. Read first. Read as much as possible before you start writing. But again, while you are reading, try to take notes so that you can build onto those arguments, build onto those ideas that you have written. So this is how you write your literature review or focus on your literature review. For example, let's do a little search on a database. Let's say we want to search emerald. So we go to emerald, and let's say I am interested in entrepreneurial leadership. So what I've got is, I've got research on entrepreneurial leadership. I'm interested in empirical research, something that has used questionnaires. So once you start reading, you even by the looking at the title, you will understand this is an empirical research or not. A good idea could be look at the abstract and see if they've used a questionnaire or what type of study it is. And if you are only interested in identifying or studying empirical research based on questionnaires, only download those papers. So same approach can be used for any other research database. For example, let's do T&F online, Taylor and Francis. Let's say I type about servant leadership. And let's say this by the look of it, the title shows that this is an empirical study. So just click on it, and your university will have an access and you can easily download it. So this is how you can search these databases. You can look at and read their abstract and see if this paper interests you or not. Look for latest research in order to have a clear idea.